Well, hello. Welcome to KATalyst4Change. I'm your host, Sharika Davis, and I can't be more excited today. I'm not sure if you can take a peek into what we have in the room occurring, but we have some very distinguished, very handsome men in the room that are part of an organization called the Salt and Pepper Gang. We have the organizer / CEO, Rico, and I'm going to allow Rico to introduce himself. And then after Rico introduces himself, will each of you introduce yourself?
Yes. My name is Rico Davis, and I started the group Salt and Pepper Gang about 6 months ago.
Okay.
The reason I started the group is because, for probably over 2-3 decades, I have always do a lot of things in the community, speaking at different events as far as like the Houston Juvenile Detention Center, speaking at homeless shelters, speaking at high school graduations.
Right.
And I said, I want to start doing these with some brothers. So as I got older, of course, I used to dye my beard. And when I hit 50, I said, I'm not dyeing it anymore.
Good
it
for
is
you.
what it is. So I started looking for distinguished gentlemen.
Yes.
But I didn't want to just look for a distinguished gentleman that looked good. I wanted a guy that I felt had character.
Very much so.
So I started going through some of them, their social media, and just making sure that they're posting the right things.
Right.
And the guys that I started feeling like is a good fit for what my vision was, started handpicking them. And then one will handpick another guy.
Yes.
And here we are, Salt and Pepper Gang.
Oh, well, we are excited. I'm going to let y'all keep looking as they keep introducing themselves.
Good evening. I'm Anthony Moe. Rico approached me maybe 4 months ago about this.
Yes.
And I kept saying, I'm going to get back to you, I'm going to get back to you. You know, I got a busy schedule, my own business and life. So
Yes.
I finally said, you know what, let me just set something aside. And
Okay.
because, I always wanted to be a part of a positive organization,
Sure.
other than a fraternity or, Masonic, So I said, let me try this. And ever since, doing a great job. I love it. I love what we're doing. I love what we're getting ready to go and do. And, the great group of brothers, man, good brotherhood. And,
Yes.
we all respect each other, so that's what I like.
Oh, can't be more excited.
Hi, I'm Gabriel Bush.
Yes.
I'm an actor, model, photographer, and writer. And Rico came at me with this, actually when it first started, and I was like, no. I really was. I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I didn't understand, I just didn't understand it. I didn't know what we were going to be doing.
Correct.
So I kind of was like, nah, I'm good. But as time passed, I gave it some more thought. I started actually getting to know him a little bit more because I really didn't know him that well.
Oh,
I got
okay.
to know him a little bit more and saw what he was doing and what was happening with what he was trying to put together.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, all right. I'm saying no problem. I could see myself getting down with this because, a lot of people say they're going to do something positive and then they don't.
Very much so.
And they start something and then it just kind of falls apart.
Yes.
So I didn't want to, just immediately say, yeah, and then I don't know what you're doing. I'm not the kind of person to just get with something just because it sounds good. I need to see what you're doing.
I like that.
So, that's how I ended up affiliated with it, and everything has been great so far.
Oh, we are so excited to have you. Now, the last gentleman who's going to introduce himself to you, I know just a little bit, so I'm going to let him introduce himself to you.
My name is Carl Davis. How I found out about the group was through a mutual friend. Rico has visited my business before, so another client of mine that they play basketball together mentioned it to me, so I had the opportunity to reach out to him and talk and discover that we had a lot in common. I also, with myself, with the business that I have, I've had the opportunity to mentor kids on a smaller scale. But how amazing would it be if you have a group of brothers to come together with the same vision, same terminology to get our young men to where they need to be.
Right.
So that's how Rico and I met.
Oh, well, let me just tell you, I can't be more excited to have you, and I'm sorry, you all. I only have 4 here today, but there's actually how many in the organization?
16.
So 16. So there's 12 more. So again, this just means we'll have a follow-up, okay? So this definitely means we'll have a follow-up so you can continue to see what's occurring in the community, what's occurring in the neighborhood, from keeping fashion up to mentoring our youth, to really empowering our youth and showing them what good looks like. And like Gabriel said, having a focus. So it's just not something or a fad that's here today or gone tomorrow.
Right.
That's huge because we all get to a point in life where those things will fall off, right? So as you said, it's great to color or maintain, but then it comes a point where you have to love self. And you have to love self enough to say, you know what, I'm happy with self being as it is. Now, I do know, Rico, if you don't mind me asking, that you actually overcame a situation in life that led you to today. Do you mind explaining and talking about that?
Well, one of it was the prostate cancer. During that transition,
Okay.
I was dealing with the whole prostate thing, and around that same time, I
Yes.
was in the process of trying to start this group.
Okay.
And with me knowing my age and knowing that all the gentlemen that I'm going to bring on board, I
Right.
don't even think they even know about it. I just was just still doing my thing, like
Right.
doing my radiation.
Yes.
And then I did a video
Okay.
talking about just men, please go to the doctor, because we as men, we don't like to go to the doctor.
I know
and
it.
I just felt like if I can share this, I feel like I can help someone.
Correct.
And I probably had people that I haven't talked to in 15 or 20 years reached out to me and said, I saw your video. Thank you. Your video made me go and get checked, and then there
Right.
was a gentleman that actually has prostate cancer. But if I never did that video, he would have never checked.
Yes.
So I think that's why God chose me, because I wasn't going to be quiet. I was going to share my message, my testimony,
Right.
to help someone else.
Yeah. I think a lot of times we get faced with tests, and it's not the test that comes before you, it's the testimony that comes after and brings it through or
Yes.
brings you through it, right?
Yes.
And I wanted you to talk about prostate cancer because prior to my husband and I getting married, as I was anticipating him proposing, my dad tells my sister and I, we have something to tell you. And it's, I have prostate cancer. And selfishly, as a young lady who, your dream as a little girl is your daddy's going to do what? Walk you down the aisle.
Yes.
And my immediate fear was, who's going to walk me down the aisle? And I had to mature very quickly, and I'm in the healthcare profession, and say, okay, your health is what comes first, not knowing that my husband was going to propose, and we were able to definitely get through that situation, and my father is able to talk to other men, because sometimes men will go through some things and they don't share. And I think that's the beauty of the Salt and Pepper Gang and this organization,
Yes.
and what you all will bring to the community, to men, youth, adolescent, because everyone wants to seem put together. They want to seem like they have it, and they don't.
Yes.
Or let's say at a certain particular phase in your life, you did have it together, and then you hit that phase where you don't have it together. It's what happens now.
Yes.
I think, Gabriel, in your introduction, you hit on a lot of levels that a lot of men from modeling acting would want to be a part of and or do. But if you don't have that happen, can you say, how do you move forward in the instance it doesn't happen? How would you tell someone to pull forward if their goals at that time don't occur?
Things happen when they're supposed to happen. They're not going to happen just because you want them to happen when you want them to happen.
Right.
It's a combination of determination,
Okay.
ability, prayer, and talent. But hard work drives everything. So everything's not going to happen on your time. It'll happen when it's supposed to happen.
Right.
So I don't know. That's the best I got.
No, and that's fine. I don't think there's a right or wrong. I just think that it lends itself to have more communication. We, as a culture, must have more communication. We, as a culture, must support each other, right? When we're at these different places, when we're at the highs and lows and the pitfalls, and we can laugh, but we've got to also say, hey, man, hey, it's okay, right? You can definitely get through this. Okay, so here's another question I have for you. Now, I know physically I'm looking at them, and I know you're not physically looking at them. So these taglines are not my taglines, but I'm going to ask for someone to explain. I think I saw sexy, I think I saw smooth, and I think rich is in there. I'm going to let you take this one.
Yeah, you, mister.
Lucky you.
You get the tough one.
Yeah, I think I'm...
Sexy, smooth, and what was the last one?
Rich.
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 Yeah, rich.
And again, you put it in your context, so don't make it be what anyone's anticipating. Rich doesn't have to be just dollars and cents.
Oh, no.
Got it.
As far as the sexiness, sexiness come with having confidence within self.
Oh, that's huge.
Um,
Say it again for the people in the back. Not in this
confidence
room, but
in itself. You got to
Okay.
have confidence in self.
Okay.
That makes you sexy as well.
okay,
You don't need nobody to tell you you're sexy. It's good to hear those words, but it's
Okay.
just words like anything else.
right.
What?
That's okay. Smooth.
I'm gonna get it smooth.
Yes.
Being smooth is being, to me, being a smooth person is I'm trying to find this word I'm looking for.
Okay.
Swag.
No,
You don't like that? You don't like that word?
which word?
Swag.
Swag. No, swag. Swag has a lot to do with that.
Right.
Smooth. But you also I cannot. I'm so lost for learning the time of the words today.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah.
Smooth. I'm looking
Okay.
for swag. You know, you gotta
Okay.
have swag.
Right.
Swag is a lot involved with swag. How
Right.
you dress, how your appearance, your health, all about your teeth, your smile.
Yes.
That's very important because
Yes.
people look for. And this is one word I'm looking for, and I can't get
Okay.
it out.
That's okay.
Oh,
Maybe it'll come to you.
and what was the last one? Was rich.
Rich.
Okay, rich. As far as rich, doesn't have to be money. I'm rich in spirit.
That's what I wanted.
I have a rich soul.
That's what I wanted.
I'm rich in words.
Okay.
I'm very determined on what I want to accomplish, things I want to do, how I want to help people, how I want to be there for people, because that's me. Anybody that knows me
Okay.
knows you can call me, hey, can you help me move a couch? Okay, I got that because they know I got a truck.
Right.
So
right.
I'm always there for people. I don't ask for anything. I just like helping people. I like being there for people. Even though people ain't never there for you when you in need most of the time, but that's
Right.
that's how the world works.
Right.
But
right.
the word I'm looking for that came to me is, with smooth, you also gotta be humble.
Very.
There it
Humble in
is.
yourself.
Very.
You can be as smooth as you
Very.
want to be, but you gotta be humble.
Right.
Humbleness is everything. Like my grandfather taught me that at the age of 99 as he passed. Always be humble.
Yes.
No matter what you're going through, no matter what you're dealing with. I'm always smiling. I'm always dancing. I'm always just, people love that energy. People pick up on the energy. And you change people by how you look at people, how you
Very much
smile
so.
at people, how you talk to people.
Yes.
Because I'm always seeing people they got a frown on their face. And I know a lot of people like to be told, put a smile on your face. But
Right.
I try to make you laugh. I'm gonna make you laugh.
I
Before
agree
the
with
day's over,
you.
I'm gonna make you laugh.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, being humble on everything that you do
Right.
helps and determines on how your life is going to come and how people look at you. Because people always judge you, no matter what.
That's right.
And I don't care about those type of people, but, besides the point.
Right.
But yeah, as far as smooth and
Okay.
humbleness is everything.
Do you think if someone's not humble, they can learn it over time?
Yes.
They can learn it by
Life experiences.
Yes.
whom
You-
they're around?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, life experiences will make you become humble.
Right.
If you've been through so much in life and then you accomplish and now you're at a rich point in your life, you should be humble.
Very.
If you're not, then you never learned it. You haven't learned anything in that experience.
That's right.
You know
That's
what I mean?
right.
So that's my answers.
Well, and I like it, and I'm going to expound, and Carl, I'm going to send this one to you with regard to rich. So a lot of our youth see athletes, right, and they think that's rich. They will look at them on the basketball court, the football court, football field, etc. But with what we just said as being rich with our youth today, how do we help materialize rich in those ways where it's not a material or something that can fade, but you are rich in character, you are rich in how you carry yourself? How can we do that?
Your actions,
Okay.
your doing. I mean, it's easy to see, and we're so desensitized with social media on how we're showing you a vision as if we're doing really great, but the reality, we're hurting inside. So
Right.
let's get away from trying to impress people
Right.
be yourself. I mean, if rich, like I said, it doesn't have to be a dollar or have a dollar amount to say that I've made it.
Right.
But like you said, your energy, your knowledge, you can be. It's so many ways to be rich, and I would think that just be yourself.
Right. I think that that's wonderful. I think that in 6 months, what you all have already done is going to triple in another 6 months. I think, Gabriel,
That's
you
the goal.
said it was going faster.
Way faster.
Yes.
Right, than you anticipated, and you're going to continue to be pulled, and 16 might only feel like one because so many people are going to want you.
Right.
Yes.
How will you decipher, Rico, how many to have in the organization? Will you let it get to a larger size? I, too, am a part of a sorority, so I understand what you're saying. You get to a point and or an age where you are definitely still whom you were, and you still have that, but at the same time, at a different phase and different way in life, it changes, right? So
right.
is there a head count or a number, or will you continue to allow the organization to grow?
I honestly like to keep it to where it is now.
Okay.
Yes, I have had guys from Florida. Guy asked me yesterday in Jersey,
Okay.
in Chicago, about starting chapters in all those other states.
Wow. Wow.
Part of me kind of want to be here because
Okay.
I don't know what some of their visions are. I don't know them personally, you
Okay.
know, so I don't want it to end up getting a reputation that's going to hurt where it started.
Yeah, where it started. I understand.
So that's
Got it.
kind of
Okay.
like, and I'm
Okay.
not there.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they might not do the background checks like I would.
Okay.
So I kind of want to just keep it here. Now,
Yes.
if it's something that you want to do in Chicago and all these other places,
Right.
have us come out there.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
You could be like that honorary member,
Perfect.
a part of it as
Okay.
we in your city.
Perfect.
So I think that's kind of like how I would like to keep it.
Okay, and we completely respect that. And I'm looking
Yes.
at you all on the other side of the camera because sometimes when you're creating something and you have a vision, you have to be okay saying, hey, here are the standards and or the barriers.
Yes.
Here's where I want it to stay, right?
Yes.
Because I know the vision that I have for it. I know the direction I want it to go. I know who I want it to impact. And
Yes.
it's okay, and to be okay with that.
Yes.
But at the same time, if you do want the Salt and Pepper Gang to come to your area, can someone say, how can they find you?
Okay?
Social media.
Yeah.
Instagram, definitely.
Okay,
Yes.
Yeah, the
We
official
also have a
Salt and Pepper
TikTok
Gang.
and
Okay.
we have Facebook. So
okay,
And then also the email, which is
Email.
is saltandpeppergang@outlook.com.
okay,
So I do get messages either through email or, like they mentioned, the official Salt and Pepper Gang on Instagram or Facebook, Salt and Pepper Gang.
right.
So yes.
Nice. I always like to give viewers a Bible verse or something to meditate on for them to go back. And as we're talking about youth and mentoring and empowering, the one that came to me today is Proverbs 22:6, and it reads, "Train up a child the way he should go, and he will not depart from it." Again, that's Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the direction that he will go, and as he gets older, he will not depart from that. Now I'm going to ask each of you to embellish on what God has said as we are training up our youth. Who would like to begin? Okay.
The way I'm not a big Bible person,
Sure.
but I can understand it when it. Everybody has their own interpretation when it comes to the Bible. That's how I feel in life.
Okay. I respect
I am a
that.
spiritual person, but as far as that verse there, is basically the way I'm taking it as he's telling, as long as we stay on a straight and narrow path and not veer off them paths,
Correct.
then everything that's on that path that's come positive to you is going to stay. You're going to keep going that way because it's all positive.
Right.
Once you start veering, you start seeing negative things on either left or right side. So it's always good to stay on that narrow path and keep going and get to your goals and get where you need to go and things of that nature. So that's how I'm taking it. That he's saying just stay on that right path, the righteous path,
Right.
and you will see all good things come to you. All these doors going to open each time you go straight in this narrow path. So
That's
how I
right.
take it.
Well, and I like that because I think there are several viewers who are in your position as far as spirituality and or the Bible.
Right.
But I think when you're hearing different things and you make it connect and fit with your upbringing and your thoughts, whether the path is narrow, straight, full, wide, etc., you know how it says too much is given, much is expected. The positivity that will come from it. That's not saying you're not going to have some dips in the road. You won't have some gravel to go over, right? You might have some potholes, right? But at the end of the day, if you stay on that path and keep going, then you're going in that right direction that he's calling us to go to.
Right, and you have to stay righteous with it, though.
There you go.
You know what I mean? That's the whole thing, being righteous. You know, speaking biblical terms, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Who else?
Who's next?
I'll go.
Okay.
As far as that verse is concerned, my interpretation of that is basically if you instill a set of values and morals and integrity and dignity at the onset,
Okay.
they should be able to follow from that.
Okay.
You know, a lot of times nowadays we don't see anybody with any morality or any dignity or any integrity. Or,
Correct.
You know, no one keeps their word.
Correct.
No one does what they say they're going to do.
Correct.
Everybody lies. You know,
Yeah.
those things are
Real
the basis for living the wrong way.
Very
And
much
if you
so.
feel like you can get away with that when you're young, you're going to keep doing it when you're older.
Correct.
That needs to be stopped, you know, early.
Right.
That way you'll know these are not things, the consequences are a lot less now when you're younger. But when
Yes.
when you get older, the
Yeah.
consequences are dire. It
Correct.
could cost you your life.
Correct.
You know? But we're not letting them know that at a younger age. You know,
Right.
of course you can still tell people that, and some people will still lose their way, but you're not going
Yeah.
to be lost forever as long as you have that foundation.
Very much so.
So, yeah, that's how I feel about it.
There you go.
Right, you got
I know
something to go
it.
back
I
to.
know
I
it.
made a
That's
mistake,
right.
but I know that I made that mistake because I didn't stick to this.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So you got to go back to that. If you don't have that to go back to, then you have nothing.
No.
Yeah.
And that foundational aspect is the piece of it where, you know, we've got parents, and I think we talked about it before we began. The set was you've got to parent
Right.
versus friend, right?
Before- yeah,
you
right,
you
yeah.
must make the separation between the two. I know it creates conflict. You're on the other side of the camera, and you're going to have your own point of view. But when you're training up a child, when you're laying that foundation, when you're leading them on that path, you must be strong in what you're teaching them and what you're showing them, right? Because they always say if you want to see how you are, look at how your children are. Your children are direct reflections and replicas of you and adolescent and even your colleagues. So what you give off to someone, I laugh sometimes, and I'll give the example like you said, even if you're having a bad day and you're with me, we're going to laugh. I'll be in the line and I can see the person scanning my groceries is having a bad day, and I'm always like, I get it. Maybe today wasn't good, but please don't break my eggs because I'm not going to go back there and get them. You go get my eggs. That's right. Yes. And then it'll be like, you know, ma'am, here's what happened. And I said, hey, it's okay because guess what? You've got tomorrow. You've got another day. But sometimes when you're so in there and in that moment, they're just slapping bread and chips. I don't want them broken. I'm not sure how you like your food. I don't want mine broken. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Don't. I know. Yeah, no, my sandwich bread is not going to be fresh. I don't want that. Davis or Davis?
I go. My father was a pastor, so now that I'm older, I understand that train up a child in the way he should go. So when he was old, he would not depart. Because there was a lot of things in my youth that happened that I didn't understand, the whoopings, the punishments, but I look back and reflect of my friends that I went to high school with. They're either dead, they're in jail. So now that I'm mature, I understand and I appreciate those punishments or whatever that occurred at the
Right.
time. But I didn't understand it at the time. But now that I'm older,
Yeah.
it makes plenty sense. And you know, I thank God I don't have no jail record or anything like that. So
Right.
to train up a child, that's powerful.
Correct.
That's powerful.
Correct. And we are in a time of second chances, but if we can curtail any experiences and really delve into our children versus being their friends, we want to, because a lot of times right now we've got children raising children.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got them very young,
Yes,
and
yes.
if you're not at a level of maturity, not even going to put a number on it, it's very difficult to train up and or raise or parent if you're at a disadvantaged level, right? So
Right.
what you're saying is huge.
Yes.
How about you, Rico?
Whew. For me, myself, I felt like I was one of those statistics
Okay.
growing up.
Okay.
You know, parents died at a young age,
Hmm.
so I was basically a grown man as a teenager.
Wow.
taking care of responsibilities.
Okay.
That's the only way I knew how to survive.
Okay.
And when I started going through life and getting older, and I felt like nothing was really given to me. Everything that I have, I worked and I earned it. So when I see young kids coming up now, so many of them always got their hands out like a baby.
Right.
And I'm trying to teach them that you cannot walk through life with your hand out like a baby.
Right.
You have to work for what you want, because when you get it, you will appreciate it.
There you go. There you go.
And what I've started noticing, there's a lot of young kids who make mistakes. We've all made mistakes.
Yeah.
It's about getting back up and keep moving forward.
Right.
Sometimes when you make certain mistakes, there are certain people in places that will stop you because of that mistake you made.
Right.
I have been that gentleman for so
Okay.
many years who now have connections, who was able to help 11 guys get a scholarship to go to college.
Oh, amen.
These are things that
Awesome.
I've been doing because
Wow.
I know what it feels like to have someone give you a second chance. They didn't give it to me.
Right.
I took advantage and I just made my chances.
There you go.
Some kids who don't feel like they get that opportunity will just give up.
Yeah.
Then they become society of doing all the wrong things, going
Yeah.
in and out of jail and things
Right.
like that. And even speaking to kids in jail, letting them know that this does not define you.
Very much so.
So,
Very much so.
but you have to make a change within yourself.
Right.
So if you are willing to make that change, then someone like myself and now brothers,
Right.
we can help you.
Yeah.
Because some things Gabe always talks about is that sometimes when a kid doesn't make it to the NFL or NBA, they think life is over with.
Very much so.
There's a whole lot
Yes.
more to life than just playing professional sports.
I
You
know
could be the
it.
doctor. You
I
could be the
know
lawyer.
it.
You know, you could be the
You
president.
can be an actor.
You
I
be an
know
actor.
You
it.
can be a writer. You can be.
But how do we get our youth to, how do we get our boys to see that? How do we get our boys to understand that doesn't have to be your path to success?
They have
So
to
many
be
of them
exposed
just-
to that more.
Just letting them know that everything that they see on TV is not real.
It's
Yeah,
not real.
everybody's not playing in the NFL. What you think your dad doing? You know
I
what
know
I'm
it.
saying? He's doing
I
the
know
work.
it. I know it.
Because you have some guys that's in the NFL, the basketball leagues and all this,
No.
and they
Yeah.
still have
I-
good grades. They
Right.
made through school.
Correct.
They have to get tutoring
I've
and
been
all
a,
that.
I've been a
Correct.
sports agent for over 20
So-
years, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you sometimes after the draft, how it
Right.
works is, in a couple of days as an agent, you got to get on the phone and try to get somebody in as a free agent.
Right.
You know, but it's like, hey, after the draft is over with, they don't see the name get called. They're like, so what's next? I'm like, a job.
Right.
You know, reality kicks in, and they just
Yeah.
sit there like,
Yeah.
oh my God, like what do I do? You know, you
Work.
have to
Yes.
prepare yourself
Very
for
much so.
future.
For future, because you
You
can
got
get
to.
hurt in the game, and you'll never be able to play again. You got that money only goes so far.
That's
Yes,
right.
yes.
And it goes fast. I don't
Yes,
know
it
what
does.
you all,
Especially
yeah.
if you
Money-
change your lifestyle because
Very
you're
much
making
so.
that much money.
I've seen
Yeah.
guys who I know have made well over $50 to $60 million living behind buildings now.
Right.
Because they didn't plan. They only think for like now in the moment, but they're not thinking, okay, wait a minute, I'm going to retire maybe at 30. What am I going to do with the rest of my life?
Right.
They don't think. If you ask one of them, they're like, oh, I don't worry about that. Like,
Correct.
really? But that's how they think.
Right.
And that all goes back to how they were brought up. Some of the things that I used to say to guys that I know that's getting drafted, let your mom and your dad handle your money. If they're not educated to deal with millions of dollars, you in the process, you know you're going to be getting drafted, take them through some classes.
There you go.
Have some courses.
Very
You
much
don't have
so.
to be an expert, but you need to have a knowledge of where I should invest these
You
monies
sure
at.
should.
Because what happens is you get the wrong person taking over your money,
Yeah.
and they're taking your money.
Yeah.
That's
Your
right.
mom and your dad is never going to take your money.
No, they're going to be your
Yeah.
they're going to be your number one advocates. They're
Yes,
going to be your
yes,
supporters,
yes,
your
yes,
cheerleaders, the
yes,
whole gamut.
yes.
Yeah.
See, that's kind of where we are with my sons. They big in sports, so
Mm-hmm.
I always preach to him that, hey, man, learn education because
Yes.
something happened to you tomorrow,
Yeah.
you still have an education. Can't nobody take that away from you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
And I mean, like you always said, education. I do push education. However,
Right.
what I always say is that you do not have to go to college to be
Right.
successful,
Right.
but you need to have a plan.
Right.
Right.
You need to have
Yeah.
a plan,
Work ethic.
execute, and make it happen.
That's
because
right.
if you think about statistics, most of
Yes.
your millionaires didn't even finish college.
Right.
There's a couple of them that I knew millionaires that didn't even finish high school.
I know
But you got to
it.
have a plan.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's it.
No.
It's about having a
I
plan.
have 3 sons back
Okay.
home, and my youngest is
Okay.
he'll be 23 this year,
Okay.
and you know he went to Buffalo State University.
Yes.
College wasn't his forte, so the mother like, look, he don't want to go to school. What he
Right.
gonna do? I said, well, he's not getting out of school until he finds a job and do what he has to do.
Good for you.
I said, you can't just not go to school and then sit on your mother couch and, you know, hang out. You know, he's an introvert, so.
Sure. Sure. Sure.
He's doing good.
Nice.
He got a job.
Right.
He take care of his business. All my two oldest ones, they successful. My
Right.
oldest one, he's very successful. He has his own business. He does photography,
Okay.
barber. He's a music producer. And
Yes.
He just, they all doing great, and I'm proud of them. So.
Yes.
But see, it took you saying those things to say, okay, if that's not your path, what's the plan? Change your P up, right? It's a quick P
Yes.
change. If it's not your path, then let's have a plan.
Let's have a plan.
And then we can execute, which is perfect.
Yes,
And
yes.
gosh, I'm going to have to apologize because I know that we're coming up on the time. So this just means I'm going to ask that you all will come back.
Yes.
But I
Yes, most
can't
definitely.
let them leave because I know you're asking what I'm probably asking. It's February. However, I'm not going to make it where you have to talk about love and ladies. Wink, wink.
Okay.
But I am going to say self-love.
Okay.
If you had to leave one comment before we close out with regard to self-love as we're in the month of February, because remember, if you don't love yourself, you can't fully love anyone else.
Yes.
What would you want it to be?
I'll go first.
All right.
I love to say,
I love
treat
it.
others how you want to be treated.
Okay. Treat others as you want to be treated.
That's mine.
I like it. That was simple. That was easy.
Yes.
Okay. Which direction are we going?
I'll go last this time.
All right.
I guess I would have to say, know yourself and be true to yourself.
Okay. Treat others as you want to be treated. Know yourself and be true to yourself.
Learn how to love yourself so you can know how to love others.
Gosh, they're spitting knowledge. I just, whoa, I don't know if we were ready for all this.
You might want to write all these down.
I know it. I'm like, okay, can we go back and recall it? I'll recall it and we'll put them up there. We'll get them. And our final one would be,
I'm gonna revert back to make sure you humble yourself
okay,
as well as you respect yourself and others around you, and give love, show love, express your love, your gratitude towards people.
right.
So I'm gonna leave those. I'm gonna leave more than one.
You know what? I think when we're ending with self-love and what these gentlemen has provided, I am so excited to be amongst you all, number one. I'm excited for what you're doing and what you're going to do. If this is what 6 months looks like, please just promise as you grow, you come back and see me in 6 months, and let's talk about where we are at that point, because 6 and 6 is 12, right? So let's see where we are at that point.
Is it possible to talk about what we have coming up within the next couple of weeks?
Oh, please, please.
Yes.
got
Well,
Yes.
actually, this Saturday, we actually are going to bless 29 ladies at a senior citizen home for Valentine's Day. We're taking.
Oh, is it-
No, we're not doing it. But no.
Okay,
But
that
no.
part.
Yes,
Well,
no.
okay, yeah. I will say,
No, we're not doing that. Hey, we're still
Now watch
live.
me get a
We're still
whole bunch of
live.
likes because they're going to say they're stripping. Okay, did you hear them say they're not? I know. They're not stripping.
No, no,
they're
we're
not
not.
stripping.
No, we're taking these ladies flowers and balloons for Valentine's Day.
Yes.
So we actually picked 2 locations to do this at.
Nice.
And then we have bowling for young men. And
Okay.
we're going to treat them like a king for a day. So we have a bowling alley. We just get a chance to sit down and talk and just kind of pick their brains.
Okay.
That's what we have coming up. And then we also have a blue carpet event for
Mm.
a Women on the Rise Presidential Award in Dallas.
Oh, wow.
That we're being guest appearance for. So, yeah.
Wonderful things.
Yes,
Wonderful,
yes.
wonderful things. And then again, will you say how we can follow you, how we can get in
Okay.
contact, how we can book you for an event?
Okay. If anyone would like to book us, I would
Yes.
suggest emailing us at saltandpeppergang@outlook.com.
Okay.
You can also follow us on Instagram. That is the official Salt and Pepper Gang.
Okay.
And then you can also follow us on Facebook at Salt and Pepper Gang.
Perfect.
And we really like for everyone to go to Instagram right now because
Okay.
we're actually putting everything that we're doing in the community. We post it on Instagram, and we have a lot of love right now on Instagram. So we have a
Awesome.
lot of other cities that we're going to be visiting pretty soon, which
Okay.
Dallas is coming up next.
Nice.
We're talking
Nice.
with someone in Atlanta right now, and
Okay.
I just got confirmation we might be doing something in Jersey. So we're
Okay.
trying to hit every city we can.
So then it
Yes.
sounds like they're coming to a city near you.
Yes.
And if they're
yes.
not coming to you right now, we can probably get them there. So
Yes.
like them, see them, follow them.
Yes.
I hope that this session has been memorable. I hope that you have some key takeaways from self-love to youth, to train up a child, to what the organization is going to do, what the organization is doing, and we're going to follow them. So I'm not stopping. And again, one of them I already know real well. So I'll talk to you soon. Thank you for tuning in to Catalyst for Change. Sharika Davis. Bye-bye.